So guys, this is how I'm going to be taking in my measurements. So right now I'll be taking 2 inches from the side of my pattern. You can see what I'm doing. So do yours the same way. Take out 2 inches from the side of your pattern and then connect it in a straight line. So guys, the next you'll be doing here is to take in your body measurements. So from the top of my pattern here, I'll be taking in my chest line measurement plus 1 inch, and then I'll come over to my bust point, which is 10. I'll mark it out. Then I also mark my half length, my under bust, which is 13, half length 17, and then from that 17 inches I'll come down by 9 inches. Hope you understand. So this is the full length of this top, and I'll go ahead to connect it in a straight line. So do yours the same way. So guys, right now I'll be taking in my shoulder measurement divided by 2, which is 7. Then I'll come down by 1 inch. From that 1 inch, I'll be marking in my armhole. You can see this armhole measurement to serve as my chest line. So if you don't know how to get your chest line, divide your armhole by 2 plus 1 inch. You can see it actually fell to my chest line here, just the way I did before. You can see what I mean. So your armhole measurement is actually your chest line. That's the best way to get it. So connect it like this and then mark it out, just the way I'm doing it. Then the next thing you have to do is to mark out the middle of this armhole. After marking it out, go in by 0.5 inches and then come over to your chest line here, mark out your bust measurement. My round bust divided by 4 is 9.5. Then I'll go ahead to mark it out plus 1 inch sewing allowance. So I'm just going to extend this line here. I'm extending all this line so that I can mark out my measurement. Then you go ahead to connect it. So after you are done connecting it, this is what you should have. Then come over to the shoulder line, go in by 3 by 3 for the neck width and the neck wideness. You can see just 3 on the top area and 3 on the down area, just the way I did there. You mark it out like this. And next you're going to do is to measure your nipple to nipple. My nipple to nipple divided by 2 is 4. Then I'll go ahead to mark it out. Then do yours the same. After marking it, I can see the places I'm marking out. Then connect it in a straight line like this. So guys, I'll come over to the hip line here and I'll measure 2 inches upwards. You can see what I did. Then come over to the half length, measure half an inch by the both side of the dart. Measure half an inch. You can see what I'm doing. Then go ahead and connect this. Just look at the way I'm going to connect it to form my dart. Just look at it and then go ahead and connect yours the same way. Come over to the bust point area, mark out 1 inch, come down by 1 inch, then go ahead and connect this again, just the way it did to the other one. Just go ahead and connect it like that. So guys, after you are done with this, you can see what I have here. Go ahead and blend it in properly. Then the next thing I'm going to do right here is to come over to the under bust, mark out half an inch at the both side of the dart at your under bust. You can see what I'm doing. Then go ahead and connect it. Connect it like this. You can see the way I'm doing it from the bust point line. Connect it in a curve. Just do yours the same. If you don't have a pattern master, use your freehand. It's okay. Then go ahead and connect it down like this. Bring it down. Look at the way I'm bringing it down. So go ahead and bring yours down like this. So right now we'll continue with our drafting. So I went ahead to just use my marker to mark out the lines I already have before so that it's visible for you to see. Then the next thing I'm going to do right now is to come over to the shoulder, measure what I have from the shoulder. You can see where I placed my tape rule, measure it. Then I'll go ahead to mark the midpoint and connect it to the that I have at the bust point. So this is going to help me to form my shoulder darts. Just look at what I'm doing and do yours the same way. So after marking out my shoulder darts, I'll go at the armhole area. I'll come out by half an inch. Come out by half an inch at the armhole area like this. Then go ahead and connect it back to the bust point line. So guys, this is it. Our shoulder dart. This is what our shoulder dart looks like now. So guys, next I'm going to do now is to take in the half inch we added to this shoulder line, and I will mark it out at the armhole line like this, so that I will place it there so that when we are cutting it will not short. That's why I'm doing it like this. Then go ahead and reconnect it to the armhole area, just the way I'm doing. You can see what I'm doing here. So do yours the same way. I'm going to use my marker to mark it out so that you can see it, so that it's visible enough for you to see very well. You can see what I have here. Then I'm going ahead to mark this line like this, so you can see what I have here. So I won't be making use of this part here. This part I'm shading right now, I won't be making use of it. So next thing I'm going to do here is to mark out my body measurement again, and I'll add 1 inch sewing allowance to all my body measurements. So I'll go ahead to mark my waist here. I'll mark my waist divided by 4 plus 1 inch sewing allowance, and I'll check out the darts I have there, which is 1 inch. I'm going to add that darts here, and for the hip area, I'll measure my hip divided by 4, which is 9.5, and I'll mark it at plus 1 inch sewing allowance. So I hope you understand what I'm saying. Then I'll go ahead and connect it. So after connecting it, I'm going to go ahead here to snatch the waist here. I'll mark from the waistline. I'm going to mark out half an inch. Then I'll connect it. So guys, it depends on the allowance you are adding to this pattern. So if you want to add 2 inches or 1.5 is okay. I'll advise you to add at least 1.5, not 1 inch. Okay. So guys, I'll come over to the bust point. I'll come down by 2 inches. Come down by 2 inches at the bust point. You can see I just marked it. Then you're going to connect it to this point I'm marking out now. Look at the way I'm going to mark out this 2 inches line I just marked out here. This will serve as my dart, my side bust dart. Remember that our back is 2 inches shorter than the front. That is why I'm marking out these 2 inches darts here, because our back and our back and the front is not the same. So I'll go ahead to cut out this shoulder line. You can see what I'm doing. Then I'll use my tape here, and then I'll use my paper tape to tape it out like this. Use yours and glue it together so that it stays in one piece. And then now we have closed up the shoulder darts. That is why we added half an inch at the armhole area, because we are going to still close it. As you can see now, our shoulder is still remaining the same measurement. Now I'll go ahead to connect these lines here so that you can see it properly. The shoulder darts, the 2 inches shoulder darts, we went up from the bust point. So right now, this part here, I'll be cutting it out because I won't be using it. We'll be closing it up because I will not be using it. So I'll come over to the whole line. I'm going to come up by 2.5 inches from and then I'll go ahead to connect it like this. Come up by 2.5 inches from the chest line. Then go ahead and curve it out like this, just like you're making a princess dart. So guys, I'm going to go over to the side of the half length, Then I'm going to come down by 4 inches. That's what I just did. Come down by 4 inches from the side of the half length. Then come to the front area. Come down by 7 inches. Come down by 7 inches from the front of the half length. Then go in by 2 inches. You can see what I just did there. Then go ahead and connect it. Connect the 2 inches line like this. Then go ahead and connect from the 4 inches line to meet the 2 inches line. So do yours the same way. You can see what I'm doing here. So the next thing we're going to do is to mark out our button place we are going to be putting our buttons. So I'm going to be marking in 1 inch from my chest line to the full length. Now this mass I mark out now is now the full length. So I'll go ahead to connect it in a straight line like this. So this is what my pattern is looking like. So I need you to pay attention here. So this is what I'm going to be doing in this area like this. So after you're done marking out the 1 inch for your buttonhole, then go ahead and from that place your weight that you stopped, come up by 3.5 inches, just the way I did. Then connect it like this to meet the 2 inches you marked out before. Just do yours the same way, the way I'm doing it. Then go ahead and use your marker to connect it. You can sort of adjust that. Use the marker to make it visible for you. Then I'm going to mark out all these parts that I'm going to be making use of. So right now I didn't know my camera stopped, so I'm going to show you what I did. After marking out the placket, and from the end of my buttonhole like this, you can see the way I placed it. I'm going to connect it to the tip of my neckline. Then I marked it out like this. You can see the way I'm marking it out. This is what I did here when my camera stopped. I did not know. So now guys, it's time for me to work on the side darts. You can see what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead to cut off this part like this so that I can be able to make use of it. Go ahead and slant the middle of this side dart like this, the middle like this. You can see the way it looks. Then right now I'll start cutting out my pattern. Look at the parts I'm cutting out and cut yours the same way. So guys, after cutting out, this is what I'm going to do like this. I'm going to use my paper tape to tape it like this. So tape yours the same way. Now we have closed up beside that. So this is what my front pattern looks like. Let's go ahead to draft the back pattern. So for the back part, I'm just going to do exactly what I did for the front. Mark up my shoulder divided by 2 and then come down by 1 inch. Mark up my shoulder slope, just the way I did for the front. Then the next thing I'm going to do here is to come down by 8 inches for my chest line. Then remember that our back is 2 inches shorter than the front, so my half length for the back is going to be 15 inches, while my half length for the front is 17. So 15 inches is my half length for the back. Then I'll go ahead to connect it in a straight line. Look at what I'm doing here and do yours the same way. So right now I'm going to come over to my armhole line here. Then I'm going to connect it in a straight line. Remember I said that our armhole measurement divided by 2 is our chest line. So I'll go ahead to mark out my armhole curve just the way I did for the front. Mark out 2 inches. Then go ahead and mark out your bust divided by 4. That's what I'm doing here. Then go ahead and make your curve just the way we did for the front. So this is what I'm doing here. But it will get to a point that it will change a little, so you have to pay attention. So from my waistline, I'll come down by 9 inches, just the way I did for the front. Come down by 9 inches. So then you go ahead to connect in a straight line. The next thing you're going to do is to come over to the shoulder, mark out 3 inches here, and then come down by 1.5 inches. This is for your neckline. Then go ahead to connect it in a curve to make out your neckline. So right now the next thing I'm going to do here is to come over to my pattern and I'll mark out my nipple to nipple divided by 2, which is 4, just the way I did for the front. So I'll go ahead to mark it out like this. So go ahead and do yours the same way and connect it in a straight line. After you're done connecting it, what you're going to do next is to start taking in your side darts. So you'll be taking in this, you'll be taking 0.5 inches at the both side of your darts like this, just the way I did for the front, and then you go ahead to connect it to the chest line, just the way I'm doing. So do yours the same way, mark out yours like this, just the way I did mine, and you get the same result. If you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please do subscribe, put on the notification bell, comment. Please, this is a new channel, so I hope you would help us support this channel. So the next thing you're going to do after you're doing this one is to, I'm going to use my marker to connect this line so that you can see it properly like this. So use a marker to connect it like this. Then you go ahead to repeat the same thing at the bottom area, which is the hem line of this top. So we'll go ahead to come up by 2 inches, that's the way you did for the front. Then go ahead and connect it back to the darts you have at the at the waistline, at the waistline. So this is what I'm going to do. So do yours the same way. So the next thing you're going to do here is just to place your marker, like your pattern master, like this, and then go ahead to make a curve. Make sure that it's not too curvy. Make sure that the place your curve is going to end is at the middle of your armhole. Remember, you have a middle point at your armhole. You can see what I did here. So look at mine very well and do yours the same way. Curve it to meet the middle line at your armhole. You can see the way I did mine, so do yours the same way. Then I'm going to take in my body measurements. My bust divided by 4 is 9.5 plus 1 inch. Taking my waist measurement divided by 4, which is 8, plus my dart, which is 1 inch. Then I'll go ahead to take in my hip measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch sewing allowance. I'm going to add, make sure you add your allowance, please. Make sure you add allowance to it. You can add it at least 2 inches or 1.5 inches sewing allowance. So right now I'm going to bring in the front pattern here and place it like this. Look at the way I placed mine, and I'll connect it like this so that I will know the length of the side front, so that the back and the front will be the same. At this point here, I'll come down by 6 inches. From your waistline, come down by 6 inches like this. That's the way I did mine. Then connect it. Look at mine properly before you do yours. So connect it like this. Consider I did mine. I use my marker to make it visible for you to see. Look at it here. So do yours the same. Make sure you follow my instruction just the way I did on this tutorial. So thank you for watching and supporting this channel. If you're a new subscriber, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. Thank you for trying it out. So this is what it's going to look like when you are done cutting. So look at the way I'm cutting mine and cut yours the same way. So after cutting the back here, the center back, I'm going to be cutting it on fold, and the side back I'm going to cut in 2 pieces. So everyone I wrote 2 times, I have to cut 2 pieces for it. So for the for the center front, please cut out 2 pieces, except the center back. Only the center back you should cut on fold, only the center back. So guys, let's go into sewing this top. So this is my pattern. I'm going ahead to cut it out with my lining. For the lining, and you should go ahead and iron your stay on it, your BFF on it. I didn't iron it here, but go ahead and do it. And when you're cutting, and make sure you add allowance around your pattern here. Add some allowance around your fabric when you're cutting. You can see what I did here. I cut out 2 pieces for you. So this is the front. I'm going to start working on the front right now. So this is what the front look like, and see that is on pieces. I cut out 2 pieces for the front here, and the side front also cut out 2 pieces. So this is what it looks like here, and I'll go ahead to resewing this like this. Then I'll first of all pin it down. You can see the way I place it. Place yours like that and pin it down. After pinning the front, this is the back here. You can see that my back, the center back is on fold, then the side back is on pieces. So right now I'm going to bring out this little fabric I'll be using for a strap. The length of the fabric is 15 inches, while the wideness is at least 2 inches. So you go ahead to stitch this in a strap. At least the size of the strap should be up to 1 inch when you are done sewing. So I'll go ahead to do this together. So when you are sewing the back and the back, this is the way you should place the strap. You can see the way I'm doing it. Place the strap with your side back like this at the waist area. then go ahead and stitch it down together. I'll go ahead to do this and I'll come back to show you what it looks like. So guys, this is how I cut out my lining. For the front piece, I went ahead to cut, you can see the way I did it here. I went ahead to cut the center front with the main fabric. Then I'll go ahead to pin it because I'll be sewing the same way I will be doing the front. The back piece, I went ahead to cut it just the way I did the main piece here, and then I'll go ahead to pin it down. Make sure you use your BFF to iron on both the fabric and the lining. So guys, after I'm done sewing it, I went ahead to iron it properly. So this is what it looks like, guys. This is what all my pieces looks like, and you can see the back piece, you can see what it looks like here, and this is what the front piece looks like. And this is for the lining. You can see I went ahead to iron my lining just the same way I did for the main piece. So go ahead and do yours the same way. You can see what I have. So the next thing I'm going to do right now, guys, is to mark out my cover pocket. So this is how you'll be taking the measurement from the center of the dart, come up by 6.5, guys, 6.5. Then to this, from the dart to the side, come out by 3 inches. Then to the front area, 2 inches. You can see what I did here and mark it out. Though I went ahead to correct it from 5 inches to 6.5. So mark out 6.5 as the length. Then this is my cover. This is my cover pocket, and this is the measurement of this cover pocket. So it is 5 inches, just the way I have for the top here, and then the length of this cover pocket is 3 inches. So I added 0.5 around the cover pocket, so I'll be stitching it with it. So go ahead and do the same. We make sure you cross check. You can see that I added 0.5 inches at the sides, and then pin it down. You have to cut 2 pieces for this. So this is my pieces here, and I'm going to go ahead to stitch it down. So I'll show you the way you should sew it. So this is my 2 pieces here. You can see for the 2 sides of the waistcoat. So right now I'm going to stitch the 3 corners, these 3 corners that I'm pointing at, and you leave 1 corner open. So this is where I'm trying to mark out the allowance I added to this pattern. So you'll be stitching this area, so look at it properly. I'm actually remeasuring it, so go ahead and measure yours. So this part I'm going to be leaving open. That is what I'm trying to say here. So go ahead and look at what I'm doing properly so that you understand. So you go ahead to stitch all this area that I marked out like this, and then leave the top area, this place I'm measuring right now, leave it open. So you do the same thing to the other side, only leave the top area open. I'll go ahead and stitch it and show you. So after sewing, this is what I have. Went ahead to cut out the edge at the area that I sewed down. You can see what I just did. Cut out the edge area like this so that I can be able to turn it. So this is how I'm going to turn it. I'm going to show you. Look at it very well. Look at the way I'm doing it. Open it up. Put your thumbs like this. Then go ahead and place your fingers and pull it out. So this is an easy way to make it here. Go ahead and turn it properly. You can see what I'm doing here. And then when you're done turning it, you can go ahead to iron it. So before I do that, I'm going to place it on the lines that I have on the main piece. You can see what I did here. Go ahead and place it like this, and then go ahead and use your sewing machine to close it up. This is the way you're going to be sewing it. This is how you're going to sew it, like this, okay? So I'm going to go ahead to pin it down, so I'll show you the way you're going to sew it. So after pinning down, this is what it's going to look like when you sew it down. You can see this is what it's going to look like. I'm going to repeat the same thing here. Then this is what they both look like. So after sewing, this is what I have, guys. The next thing I'm going to do here is to bring in the back piece. So this is my back piece here. I'm going to be joining the shoulder of the back with the shoulder of the front together. So that's what you will do. Join the 2 shoulders together, pin it down first, then go ahead and join it. If you have any excess, it's okay, just go ahead and trim it out. So this, after joining, this is what the back looks like. I'm going to be placing my lining on top of it like this. Make sure that the way you joined your main piece, that's the same way you join your lining piece. Then I'll go ahead to place it like this. You can see the way I'm arranging it. So arrange yours the same, arrange it properly, and use your pin to pin it down so that you don't make any mistake. So this is what it looks like. This is how I'm going to be sewing it. I'll be sewing all these corners like this, except the sides, the side of the front and the sides of the back. So don't stitch the side of that, because that's where you're going to be turning it. So after sewing, this is what you can see, that the sides are open. Then go ahead and start pulling it out from the side. Just the way I'm doing it. But be careful so that you don't actually spoil your fabric. So go ahead and do the same thing. When you are done, this is what I have. After pulling it out, make sure you go ahead and iron it properly. So you need to iron it properly when you are done. I'll go ahead and do mine and show you. So after ironing, this is what I have here, guys. This is what I, and I'm going to go ahead to close up the sides by using my pin to pin it down. After sewing, I'm going to use my overlocking machine to overlock it, at the side here. That's what I'm doing. Go ahead and do yours the same way. So guys, the next thing you're going to do after pinning it down is to sew it, okay? So I'll go ahead and do this and come back and show you what it looks like. So guys, after pinning it down, I'm going to go ahead to mark out where my buttons are going to stay. So go ahead and mark out where your buttons are going to stay. You can actually wear it on your body if you want to know. I'm just trying to show you that you are going to have your buttons here. So go ahead and fix your buttons, and then that's all for this tutorial. So I'll show you how it looks like on my body when I'm done sewing it.